Hello everyone, today I'm going to do another video about rubber leaders. The point of this video will be to show you how to boost your damage on rubber leaders. So just a quick reminder, rubber leaders can be found through the search button. Rubber leaders here, and that's where they are. Now they're refreshing, but they will show up again in a few minutes. So I've already introduced what rubber leaders are and how the system works. Today we're going to see how you can upgrade your damage on them. So the first thing you want to do is upgrade your research. We already kind of covered that, but I want to emphasize the importance of researching the amount of damage you will do. So develop your research as much as you can on the expedition page. So it is here. Expedition page. This is where it is. Expedition classification. And to upgrade your damage, you want to upgrade weakness analysis, but you also want to go for all the research is useful. So do it all. Hopefully you can get it. It will take you some time, but it's really important. That being said, the second point is your commanders. To deal more damage, you will need to have your commanders higher. So the skills that are used for your commanders through rubber leaders are the guard skill. So these ones. And these are the stats that will be used. So health, defense, attack. And these are the skills that will be used. So this one is an active skill. The three others are passive skills, which means this one activates every once in a while when it's recharged. These three are always active. So for example, prepare for war, it grants a damage reduction to Chris every 5 seconds, for 5 seconds every 10 seconds. So this is how it works, and you can see for a lot of other people. Let's go for Sheila, for example. She gets more attack for 6 seconds every 15 seconds, and so on and so on and so on. The point is, the higher your commanders will be, the more damage you will do. So the higher Sheila is, the higher her attack is, and so the more damage you will do. Same thing for Arya, so on and so on and so on. Mostly you want all your commanders to be gold with stars. So stars are this, right? So with the most amount of stars if possible. But there are a few cases where that's not the case. Such cases being Enzo. Enzo is very interesting for you because of this skill right here. And so you don't want him to have too much defense or too much life, because if he has too much, the percentages won't go as low as you would want them to in order for him to get more attack. So what you want would be to get Enzo to blue, possibly 2 stars, but nothing more. If you actually play cavalry, then you can get him to gold because he's very good for you, and it will make sense because you will play differently, but it will work. So either you get him to gold, 4 stars, or you keep him at blue because you're not a cavalry. That being said, with Enzo, to actually keep him alive when you play, because you want him to lose life but not die, you usually would use Egbert. So Egbert is a bowman. He's here, right here. His guard skill actually gives a damage reduction shield that is very useful to keep your commanders from getting damaged. That is why, if you are not a bowman commander, you would want to get Egbert to gold but not put stars on him, so that he doesn't grant shield too often, and so that Enzo can still lose life and still get the damage bonus he gets from his passive. If you're a bow, you will put stars on Egbert, so instead of using him, eventually you will probably only use Sheila. Sheila is the one Jean, my bad. Jean is the one you want to use with pretty much everybody, except maybe against peers, because her guard skills actually her active skill gives an attack boost to everybody in around area, and her redemption skill works perfectly with Enzo to give him more health every now and then without needing to put like Sensa. That wouldn't be very useful because she would only give heals, while Jean actually gives you more attack and heals. So she's perfect. You want her to add gold 4 stars if possible, so that you can play her with Enzo. It would be perfect. To maximize the damage, now all you need to do is play accordingly to the rebel leader you're facing. So if you're going against a cavalry rebel leader, you will use spears. If you're going against spears, you will use infantry. If you're going against infantry, you're gonna use cavalry. You might want to use Enzo even against cavalry when he doesn't have a boost, but that's because he does so much more damage thanks to his passive. But against spears, you will use infantry. Now that that's done, what else can you do? Well, there are quite a few things actually. Let's start with equipment. By now, you must already be aware of what equipment is, and so this is what the equipment I am wearing right now. If you don't know what equipment is or how it works, drop a comment in video. I will make another video about it to try to explain it to you. So this is not the point of today's video, but I could make another one. The equipment you can find in the blacksmith, and this was where you can forge it. There is a set called the Mountain Climb set that is made specifically for rebel leader helps, and so it helps you to use less motivation when you attack rebel leaders. It also helps you to go faster when you attack them. Here you can see it. Gives you more motivation limit, so you can attack more rebel leaders. It also gives you more damage, so it's very, very, very useful. The Mountain Climb set you can upgrade by using these things right here. The material you can only get through Mountain Climb set chest that you can only get during KVK through the Alliance rewards, ranking rewards, and personal rewards. You can also get it through the equipment selection chest by choosing the Mountain Climb set chest, but that is something that you will get pretty randomly. So this is the equipment selection chest, and you would go with this one. So all you need to do is, once you have that equipment, you want to replace it with the current equipment you have. If you don't have an equipment, just put it on, and you will get the bonus. Now, that being said, there are other ways. The other way to upgrade your damage is through the castle skin. So castle skin you can see in your castle right here. And you go to appearance, and you can see castle exteriors and marching animations. There are different types of castle exteriors. There are a lot of them. There are various of them, but the one you really want to use to get more damage is less hurt, because it gives you expedition damage, more motivation, and more troop marching speed. You can also use June Fort because it gives troop damage and marching speed, but it's not as good as Last Hearth. Last Hearth is really the best castle skin you can have for rebel leaders. These amounts will go up eventually, but the only way to make them go up is to have a certain amount of A rarity castle skins. So let's say you have 2, instead of it being 25, it might be 26, and eventually it gets to 37 when you have 10. So if you have 10 A rarity castle skins, you will get 37% damage increase and more motivation and more troop marching speed. Now, the marching animation. The only marching animation that gives damage boost on rebel leaders is Kingdom Elite. So this is the one, and you can see right here. You cannot upgrade it. There is no way to make it better. It's just already like this, and it won't change. But it's already very huge and very useful. Now, you can get the castle exterior through benefits and the hero decree right here that will give you redemption order, and then you head to the exterior shop, and when you go down, last hearth is right here. So you can get it here. You can also get Dune Forts here, but like I said, you'd rather go for last hearth. For the marching animation, you can only get it through an exterior selection chest that you can get through recharge events, limited sales, bounty operations like the anniversary operation that was going on a few days ago, where it was actually way cheaper to get that chest than usual, or you can get it for free in Return to Westeros, but you need a lot of points. Finally, the last thing you can do to boost your damage is to use a 25% boost in the Sept of the 7. So you can go here and see it, or you can go here, and then you go down, and expedition damage is here, and this is it. It lasts for 30 minutes. As you can see, I only have 12 on this account. It's actually not very hard to get them. You won't even have to look for them, you just get them eventually. They're not such a rare thing. So this is it for today. We've seen every way to make your damage better. The last real thing you can do to have better damage against rebel leaders is to have the right lineup, but this will depend on the commanders you have and on the rebel leader you're attacking. Let's say I attack a cavalry, I will go and use, for example, Varys, Arslan, but if you have Julian, you might want to use Julian. It's very complicated. If you want a video about this, drop a comment. I will do it. But for today, this is it.